Hello everyone and welcome back to the EDH Jank Center, your source for everything Commander and everything Jank. I'm your host Jordan or Prairies, and today we got 5 budget upgrades for Ixhel, Scion of Atraxa. With Phyrexia All Will Be One right around the corner, I figured I'd do some budget upgrade lists for both Commander precons from the set. You can check out the one I did on Nayali Sun's Vanguard here, but for now, let's dive in. We can't do a budget upgrades list without knowing what we're upgrading, so let's read Ixhel, Scion of Atraxa. 1 white, black, green, legendary creature Phyrexian Angel from the All Will Be One precons. Flying, Vigilance, Toxic 2. It has Corrupted. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters exiles the top card of their library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells, and it's a 2/5. Now this is so amazing. Both of these commanders in the precons have me so excited. In Phyrexia All Will Be One, they have introduced a new mechanic called Toxic that is similar to Infect. However, there is a distinction. If Ixhel had Infect, if it had 10 power, it would deal its damage in the form of poison counters. Meaning that if it had 10 power and Infect, it would just deal 10 poison counters to someone and they would immediately die. The way Toxic works is, no matter what Ixhel's power is, it will always deal, in this case, 2 poison counters in addition to whatever it deals as combat damage. And that's what I love about this commander the most, is that it's super balanced and it actually incentivizes you not to kill your opponents early with poison counters. So this is basically an Abzan Theft deck, which I love. On top of that, we've got 2 super relevant creature types, we'll talk about that later, and some really amazing keywords, so we could even take this in a Voltron direction if we wanted to. But alright, stop screaming. Let's get to the list, shall we? And just so you guys know, every card in this list, except for one, is under $1, and the one that is over is only over by 50 cents. So, alright, enough dilly-dallying, let's get into it. Our first card up today is Soul Guide Lantern, 1 colorless mana artifact from Theros Beyond Death. When Soul Guide Lantern enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. You can tap it and sacrifice Soul Guide Lantern, exile each opponent's graveyard. You can pay 1 and tap it to sacrifice it and draw a card. So listen, you're gonna be taking your opponent's spells off the top of their library and probably casting them for yourself. These cards will then resolve and go into your opponent's graveyards. Now, we don't want them to be pointed at us because we're nice people and we don't deserve that. So to prevent our opponents from using the cards that they probably paid for with their hard-earned money, we gotta run some graveyard hate, and Soul Guide Lantern is a perfect option. At under 30 cents, 1 mana, this card enters the battlefield and already snipes a problematic card in the graveyard that we don't want our opponents to recur and use against us. And then on top of that, we can just keep it up and keep 1 mana open so that if one of our opponents threatens recursion, we can just yeet everyone's graveyards. Now, because we are doing this to our opponents, we need to protect our commander because it will draw the ire of our opponents. In comes our next card, Starnheim Aspirant. 2 and a white creature, human cleric. This one's from Jumpstart 2022. Angel spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, and it's a 2/2. Remember when I said that our commander is a very relevant creature type? This is what I was talking about. Let's be frank here, guys. I would love to be the person to tell you that everything is gonna be okay when you play this commander, but people are going to want to kill your commander. And sometimes that will actually happen no matter how many protection spells you run, no matter what you're doing. Sometimes that removal is just gonna resolve and you're gonna have to send your commander back to the command zone, where it will cost 2 colorless more to cast. However, if we have Starnheim Aspirant out on the field, that first kill is null and void, baby. We can just recast Ixhel for its original casting cost. Now, Starnheim Aspirant comes in clutch when your commander's already been removed, but what if we don't want it to be removed, which is ideal? Let's go for one of my favorite cards of the last 2 years, Tyrite Sanctum. This one is a land from Dominaria United Commander. It taps for a colorless. You can pay 2 and tap. Target legendary creature becomes a god in addition to its other types. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. You can pay 4 and tap it to sacrifice Tyrite Sanctum. Put an indestructible counter on target god. Now, this is a pet card of mine. I put it in basically every deck that I build for my own personal collection because it comes in untapped, it can go in any deck, and it's great protection that no one really sees coming. One of my favorite ways to use this card is to hold up 3 total mana, so Tyrite Sanctum and 2 other lands, and then wait till someone's end step when they're about to pass to you. In response to your end step, you tap to activate Tyrite Sanctum, make your creature a god, and put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then on your turn, you can just immediately pay for and sack Tyrite Sanctum and put the indestructible counter on your creature. In our case, this will be Ixhel, and then we can just go to town and not really worry about most types of removal. And yeah, it also basically looks like Kryptonite for any Superman fans. out there. I wonder what the Venn diagram is of Superman fans and my subscribers. Comment down below if you're one of those people. Alright, let's move on to our next card, which is Park Heights Maverick. 2 and a green creature, human soldier from Streets of New Capenna Commander. It has Dethrone. Whenever this creature attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Park Heights Maverick can be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Whenever Park Heights Maverick deals combat damage to a player or dies, proliferate, and it's a 2/2. So pretty simple tech here, guys. For Ixhel to be able to go off, we need each of our opponents to have 3 poison counters or more. How do we do this? We need to proliferate, baby. And Park Heights Maverick does exactly that, both on combat damage and when it dies. Also, this comes in with its own built-in evasion, and it scales up based on whoever we attack. Let's go, dude. Also, shout out Darken for just always giving us amazingly gas artwork. And just like that, we are almost at the last card of the day. But before we get into it, guys, if you've been enjoying this content, consider joining the Patreon. The link is in the description below. We've got lots of cool benefits for patrons, including a patron-only Discord that's available to even the $1 tier of my Patreon. We've got that plus so many more really cool benefits. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, make sure you check out that link in the description. All your support helps me make more videos like this for you guys. On the docket as our last card of the day is Stronghold Arena. 1 and a black enchantment from Dominaria United. It has kicker green and or white. You may pay an additional green and or white as you cast this spell. When Stronghold Arena enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, you lose life equal to its mana value. We did it. We did it. We did it. Let's go. Ever since I covered this card in my video, 10 cards you missed from Dominaria United, I have wanted to place this card in some Abzan deck that really would love this extra value. And I think Ixhel will love this card. Not only are we gaining value off of our opponent's libraries, but on top of that, now with Stronghold Arena out on the field, we will be gaining extra value off of our own library as well. We're going to want to run creatures with evasion anyways, so this will not be a hard ability to start triggering at all. And look, sometimes losing a bunch of life off of Baneful Oven will be a big ouchies. However, we are in the perfect colors to gain all that life back. And just like that, guys, we are at the end of yet another video. Thank you so much for watching. If you dug this content, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what cards you would put in an Ixhel Scion of Atraxa build. Did I miss anything? I'm always down there in the comments interacting with you guys, so come on down and have a chat with me. All right, that's it for me. Go forth, steal your friend's stuff. I'm out.